Hi, my name is Monica and I'm the owner of Therapuppy, which is a Sydney-based school therapy dog business. It was something that kind of came out of COVID, essentially. I've always loved dogs, animals in general actually, but dogs particularly. I've grown up with dogs, love them, and hadn't had one in a while and was begging my family to get another dog. Lo and behold, my sister saw a photo. 48 hours later, she came home and surprised me with Peanut. So Peanut was actually gifted to me with a hidden agenda of becoming a school therapy dog for my sister's school. She saw the photo of him, was smitten, and she saw that photo from a friend of a friend who knows this breeder called Rough and Roll. So Rough and Roll are a Port Macquarie based breeder of specifically cavoodles, poodles, and I believe they also do labradoodles. They're fantastic. When you commit to buying the puppy, their communication is excellent. They continuously send you updates as in photos and videos of the puppies, and you can see that they truly love what they do. You can see that they interact with the dogs, and not just for the sake of being a business and making money, but you can see that they truly love what they do. They play with the puppies, they train the puppies in terms of, they try and toilet train the dogs, specifically on grass and stuff, but just simply interacting with the dog, I think, has helped our business. I know from my two, Peanut and Jelly Bean, absolutely love people, and I think that comes down to them having been immersed in that kind of an environment pre-ownership and pre-handover to myself. I've referred Rough and Roll to numerous people. I think there's close to 10 people now that I've referred to Rough and Roll who have purchased a puppy from them. Can't go wrong with their puppies. They're absolutely gorgeous. Every time I get an email from them saying that there's a puppy on, a new litter, I have to stop myself from calling Rob or Ed and saying, sorry, Rod and Ed, to kind of place an order, because they are just absolutely gorgeous and you can trust them. Again, they do it for love, not just as a business and for money. COVID hit in March of 2020. The world shut down. I worked in travel pre-COVID, and basically overnight my entire world came crashing down, along with everyone else.
How did your business idea came up, and did you do your research?
The idea of my business, I guess, kind of happened overnight. Well, not even. It happened with a phone call. My sister had bought Peanut back in 2019 with the idea of him being a therapy dog for her school. During COVID, we did his training, and because the world had shut down, my job became pretty much non-existent overnight. I said, hey, I'm going to sit in on the training. We work with an amazing trainer based in Albury Wodonga, Bridie Charlesworth at the Dog Education Centre. We thought, I should say she had a lot of the communicating with my sister at the time, and I said, I'm just going to sit in on the training. And I did. I ended up taking over the training because Peanut had bonded with me. He was my dog. He wasn't listening to her really, and so I became the treat lady. Peanut sit, Peanut drop, Peanut on your mat. He did everything we asked him to do. He superseded anyone's expectations. He pretty much did his training. He went from starting his training to being certified. I actually had thought 3 or 3.5 months, but after checking recently, it was actually 2 months, which was phenomenal. The idea of the business happened when my sister quickly came to the realization that she couldn't do her job as well as handle the dogs at the same time. And that's where an idea popped into my head. I was like, this could be a good idea. Would schools be interested in possibly employing someone to come into the school and bring a dog and do what needs to be done and then leave? Spoke with a few people and they were all like, yes, absolutely, this is fantastic, what a great idea. Called my accountant. Literally within 20 minutes he had set me up with an ABN. I literally just called him to ask a few questions and he'd set me up with an ABN. He told me how to register the company name. I think an hour later I was pretty much up and running, and that's how we came about.
Tell us a little bit about what is a therapy dog?
So a therapy dog essentially provides comfort, companionship and emotional support to individuals. We use the dog as a tool to help, in our case, children, staff, families, feel comfortable and confident to be able to participate in an activity. For example, if we go into a classroom and we see that a child is a little bit anxious, well, we use the dog as a means of calming that student and helping them to participate fully in that activity. With a dog, you can pretty much get, I'm going to use children in this example because that's what we do. We're based in school. So we use a dog as a way to get the student to do their work, to read a book, to participate in the class activity, to walk through the front gate, to separate from their parent or carer at the front gate, and just be happy and excited to be at school. 'Cause essentially that's what we're there for. We're there to help kids be happy and excited to be there and to learn.
What sort of training and how long does it take to have a qualified therapy dog?
It can take anywhere between 3 to 6 months to fully train a dog. A lot of the training you do on your own. So we trained our dogs through the Dog Education Centre, Bridie Charlesworth, and so she's got a full program that you register to. And so that's what we do. We follow, there's videos and things that you kind of follow, and it's about doing your training regularly. So at the very beginning, it's generally 2 to 3 sessions, and they only have to be very, very short sessions. And you use high rewarding treats. That's the key. Thank goodness all our dogs are food orientated, because you can pretty much get them to do anything with those treats. So the training, like I said, goes anywhere between 3 to 6 months, and then the dogs are certified, and they must be certified every year.
Tell us a little bit about your team and the dogs that you have.
Okay, so I personally have 3 dogs that are certified, 2 of which I actually got from Roll. Peanut and Jellybean are brothers. They share the same parents, and people often say, are they twins? No, they're not, they're brothers, but they're very cute, and it's very hard to tell them apart sometimes. But yeah, so I've got 3. I have 2 amazing handlers that work for us as well. Georgia with her little pup Mowgli, and I've also got Yvonne, who uses Jellybean a couple of mornings a week, but she's also got herself a little puppy. She got him back in December. Oh no, sorry, I lie. She got him in January. And little Wasabi is currently going through the process of being trained to be a school dog. She also has a little puppy called Marty, because it is important, I think, to understand that not all dogs are cut out to be school therapy dogs. There are some that are just born to do it, Like peanut jelly bean, Daisy, so-so. She's my little cheeky monkey. But then we also have Marty, who went through the program. He was sensational, he was great, he did everything you wanted him to do, but unfortunately our poor little munchkin has a bit of anxiety, and the second you put him in a school environment, he just froze up. So he was unable to proceed, but we're very positive about Wasabi, and can't wait to see what he can do.
So who is your target audience in your business? I know you mentioned schools, but can you tell us a little bit more about the target audience that you're working with the business?
So the bulk of our business is schools. However, we do offer different, we do offer other programs. We can do home visits, we can visit nursing homes, hospitals not so much. It's very hard, especially post-COVID. Even with the nursing homes, it's a bit hit and miss. So the bulk of our business is based around schools and home visits. In schools, we generally target students who have additional needs, learning difficulties and anxiety. In saying that, the way we operate is once we go to a school, we're given a timetable or we're giving a list of students that they'd like us to target, and so that's how we will then work through our session times at those schools. In saying that, one of our most popular programs is actually the meet and greet one, which is where we greet all the students as they walk through the gate in the morning. To see the students walk through that gate with such a smile on their face, or just spot the dog a mile away and just yell out their name with excitement and come up and just pat the dog, sets them up for the rest of the day. They're on a high, they're great, they're happy. The schools are happy, we're happy. Life doesn't get any better than that.
What sets your business apart from other therapy dog businesses out there?
Therapuppy is a business, so we charge for our services. I believe there are other companies out there. Well, they're not really companies. They're more, charitable, non-for-profit organisations. And I believe there is one that has about 100 plus volunteers that operate through their organisation. As far as I'm aware, we are the only business out there that provides this service. So we are a business. We're not a non-for-profit organisation, which I believe there are a few out there that rely on volunteers. So I don't know how they do their scheduling and everything. However, at Therapuppy, we pretty much set up, at the end of each year, we set up the contracts for the following year. And so we can pretty much guarantee with those contracted schools regular visits. So schools can rely on us and our consistency, and we're not like other organisations where they rely on volunteers. Our visits go from anywhere between 1.5 hours to 3 hours. It can be a weekly session, it can be a fortnightly session, it can also be, I believe there are some schools that have multiple sessions a week as well. I think also what schools love about us is our flexibility. So while they do give us a list of students to work with or a certain timetable and so forth, we're pretty flexible in terms of who we can work with. I've often been called over the PA system, could Therapuppy please come to the office, because the student's having a bit of a moment and needs a bit of help. While we do have a schedule, we are quite happy to help whoever needs it at that time.
What do you enjoy most about this job?
I love it. Like I said, I've always loved animals, dogs specifically. I'm obsessed with them. To be able to do that and combine that with my willingness to help people, My previous travel job, I worked with the older market. I was lucky enough to travel a lot with people on tours overseas, and so to help the older people. Who doesn't want to work with dogs every day? I'm obsessed with dogs. To be able to combine that with being able to help people, specifically children, but I think what we also have to remember is that there's also the staff at the schools who need a bit of love from the dogs and a bit of care from them too. But I truly love helping people, and marrying that up with working with the dogs is just, life doesn't get any better. I just love it.
Can you give us an example of how a therapy dog has helped a student perhaps at a school? Just give us some application of what you've just given us.
I'm going to use Friday as an example. Was walking into the office, there was a student there, almost to the point of hyperventilating from crying so much. Nothing anyone said or did could console this child. It was gut-wrenching. Peanut walked right up to him, put his little paws on his knee. 2 seconds later, that student was giggling. A minute later, we were walking that student back to class. The proof is in the pudding. We've had non-verbal children read to the dogs. Children who don't read have read to the dogs. Walked into a school, very first time on site, went to a classroom, was pointed to the child who they wanted me to work with, sat down, introduced myself, did all of that. I said, "Hey buddy, I've got a little book on Peanut, would you like to read it?" "Sure." Opened the book, started reading. Bell went, out they went to recess. The teacher came up to me and said, "No one at this school has heard him read in 2 years." No words.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The power of
a dog.
A therapy dog that is well trained and that knows, when someone is in need, I guess. Now, tell me, Monica, where do you see yourself with the therapy in the next 5 years?
Definitely Sydney-wide. Ideally in multiple states. I think my dream is to be nationwide. That ideally would be the perfect dream for me. Seeing what the dogs can do, I just want to be able to do that everywhere we go. So it's about getting the word out there, getting amazing staff, ensuring that we have the right dogs to be able to do that. But yeah, the dream is to be nationwide. So this is Yvonne. Hi. Yvonne actually came on board last year, I believe it was.
Yes, early last year.
Yeah, so we're actually neighbours. And we got to talking, I think on one of your walks during COVID. I think it was the second lockdown. With your little one, Marty, at the time. Yeah.
And it was more of a case of, what are we going to do next year?
Yeah.
How's Marty going to cope? What am I going to do with the kids when they go back to school? And Monica just said, "Why don't you come and work for me?" And I went, "Okay, sure, I can do that." And so the story began. I came on board with Therapuppy.
Absolutely. So this is Georgia and her little pup Mowgli. Georgia is actually the very first person I ever employed, which was very exciting back in 2021. Georgia is, without a doubt, an amazing trainer. She did a lot of training when she first got Mogs, and so when the time came, I guess, when we approached her to kind of join the team, he was so well trained that not much effort was required to get him certified, which was brilliant from a business side of things. But she's a gun at training, and it truly shows in Mowgli, and she does such a wonderful job. You know, I don't tell you enough.
No.
Yeah.
One's made it very easy. It's been very clear cut. She's the best. I get very lucky. Normally when we go to a school, we will stand at the front gate and say good morning to all of the kids. The kids can come up and ask for a pat if they'd like to, or if not, they can just go on through the gate and go to their classrooms. Once the bell is gone and all the kids are inside, if we have specific kids at that school that we'd like to go and see, we can go and see them. Normally the class will have a pat, then we'll go and do some individualised work with the kid one-on-one, and they can have a pat, or we can read some books. We might do their work just to the side where they can have some extra love and extra one-on-one time, which really seems to help and calm some of the kids down. We also can give whole classes pats, so the kids will come in, they'll sit in a circle, they can ask for a pat. Where we might do some tricks with Mowgli, and they can high five and handshake and do a little bit of a show for them. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do. We might see a few kids within a few hours, and they really, really love it.
Good boy. Good job, buddy. Okay. So Jellybean. Good job. Good boy. Stay. No. Jellybean, what do you do? Sit. Good job. Good boy. Come on, Jellybean. Okay. Drop. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Well done. Oh, no. See, and they play up, you know, this is where their personality comes into it as well, and that's an important part. The last thing you really want to do with a therapy dog is stamp out their personality, because that's a big part of what they do. That's how they connect with the students and the people that they're helping. So a big part of the training is using high rewarding treats, but at the very beginning, the treats during the training is essentially their meal for the day. That's why you do generally about 2 to 3 sessions, so that you can that's their means of being fed, is during those training sessions. So the dog actually knows that, oh, if I don't do the right thing, I'm not going to eat. And that's how it continues, and then slowly it changes. So as working dogs, they actually get 2 meals a day, and then they get a little bit of treats as they're working.
My
name
is Peanut.
Oh, look at the picture.
It hard to see.
Peanut.
I love to eat carrots.
Oh, you see how he's holding the carrots?
Do you want to try this one here? Good girl. Good job.